It's Friday Q&A, and today we're talking about C-sections, suspension training, and losing fat over 65. Check it out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Tyler here from GarageWarrior.com. Today I'm going to do what I'm calling FAQ Friday, Frequently Asked Question Friday. I'm going to go through all the questions that people send me, and I'm going to answer them personally just for you to help you look, feel, and perform your best. If you have any questions whatsoever, all you got to do is click the link above that says Ask Tyler a Question, fill out that form, and I will make you a custom video like this to help you look, feel, and perform your best, all right? Just be patient because I got so many people sending me questions, right? Today we are going to talk about C-sections and if you can get six-pack abs, suspension training, what I think of it, and over 65 and how to lose fat, all right? So let's dig right in. So can a once athletic 55-year-old female who's had a C-section ever hope to have six-pack abs again? I'm 53 and I weigh 5'3" and I weigh 210 pounds. Mickey, that's a great question, and I think that the answer is more complicated than you want to hear. So you're 55 years old, which means your hormones are a little bit different than you were when you were 25 or 35 years old. You've had a C-section, which means sometimes your abdominal muscles don't work as well as they did when you were younger, before you had a C-section. And you're 5'3" and weigh 210 pounds. So if I look at this situation right here, the C-section is definitely something I want to address. Your age is definitely something I want to address as well. But in order to get the six-pack, the lowest hanging fruit, the thing that pops out to me in your question is I'm 5'3" and I weigh 210 pounds, right? Because I don't know anybody in existence who's ever been 5'3" and 210 pounds who's had a six-pack abs. So let's address the lowest hanging fruit, which is simply fat loss, all right? So Mickey, you got to get on a fat loss diet that you can become consistent on. I'm not going to tell you which diet to follow or which diet's the best, because the diet that's best for you to follow is the one that you'll stick to consistently. My personal philosophy: protein and fats for breakfast, protein and fats for lunch, especially rich in vegetables, and then protein, and if you had a workout for the day, some sort of starchy carbohydrates like potatoes or white rice for dinner, along with lots of vegetables as well. That's kind of my general philosophy. Throw in a protein shake post-workout or pre-workout, and that's like how I recommend most people eat. You have to adjust the quantities depending on how big a person is, but that's my general philosophy. That's number one, is you have to get on a consistent fat loss diet. If it's too complicated, don't do it. Make it simple and make it consistent. You're 5'3", 210 pounds. I assume you want to get somewhere down into the 140s, 150s range. That's probably where we're going to have to get to if you really want to see six-pack abs at some point. The second factor is the C-section. If your abs aren't functioning properly, they will push out, they will protrude out, and they won't work properly. I have a program called 0 to 6-pack abs. You should definitely check that out. It's at 0-6packabs.com. It was created by myself and my good friend Dr. James Vager to teach people how to reactivate their cores after things like injuries and cesarean sections, right? And the section that James teaches in phase 1, where he teaches you how to activate your core by using an exercise he calls the elevator, is absolutely the best section I think ever created on this particular exercise, teaching you how to use abdominal bracing in order to activate your core muscles. So make sure you check that out. And as far as the age goes, I think that the big thing is you have to be patient. The older you get, the longer it takes for your body to change. That's my experience with my clients. Usually the younger you are, the quicker your body reacts to these kind of things. So just cultivate patience while you're doing this, all right? And if you do this consistently, if you get down to that 150, 140 pound range, you use a properly designed ab training program, and you're patient and you follow a strict fat loss diet over time that you can be consistent on, then yes, I absolutely believe that you or anybody else in your situation can develop six-pack abs. All right, next question. Dear Tyler, what do you think of TRX training? All right, well, that one's pretty easy. I think suspension training is absolutely fantastic. It's a great tool. Actually, at one point I had 4 boot camps in the town where I live in, and we had a total of like 20-something, 28 suspension trainers, about 6 or 8 at each facility, because these were so useful. So the reason why I like suspension trainers so much is because a suspension trainer serves as a tool for advanced trainees. So just do like a simple push-up, for example, on a suspension trainer, and you'll go, holy crap, that's way harder than a regular push-up. So that makes the exercises more advanced. But it also serves as a way to teach people how to do things in a more beginner facet as well. So do a squat while holding TRX handles, or do a body row while standing nearly vertical while holding TRX handles. That's something you could teach, you know, somebody in their 80s and 90s how to do safely, and it's still a functional exercise. It's not a big goofy machine, right? So it's a tool that spans from beginner all the way through advanced exercises, and it's really lightweight, it's really easy to set up, so it's a fantastic tool. Just make sure you find the right program to follow so that you can actually have a progressive system to use when using the suspension trainer. My friend Dan Long is like the TRX guy. He's got a program called Suspension Revolution. If you're really interested in suspension training, check that one out. It's highly recommended by me. The other thing too I get a lot of questions about, I'll just expand a little bit, is people say, well, what's the difference between a suspension trainer and rings? Well, I like gymnastic rings for upper body specific work, and really they're built more for advanced trainees, people who can do a muscle up to support on the rings, people who can do dips on the rings without their wrist touching the straps. That's what rings were created for. And so there's really not a lot of beginner stuff other than body rows and some real basic stuff that you can do with rings. So I think that rings are fantastic for advanced trainees, but suspension trainers are probably more appropriate for people who are intermediate and beginners. All right, hope that helps. Next question. I'm 65 and semi-retired. I spent almost 50 years of my life managing automotive repair shops, and much of that time I was working in shops using and abusing my body. I injured a knee in a car wreck in 1971, have been riding a bicycle, an exercise bike in bad weather, and still really enjoy it. Another little soreness in the knee, 25 miles is still doable. My shoulders both bother me, lifting over my head from lifting many heavy auto parts way too high and for a prolonged period of time. What kind of program would you suggest for someone like myself? I'm on no medications of any kind. Blood pressure has dropped from 168 over 87 to 131 over 68. Congratulations. In a little over 3 weeks since retiring. I'm 5'6", and my weight has gone down from 182 to 159 since Christmas. Please send help. Thank you, Don Wilson. Don, fantastic. I want to tell you a quick little story, Don. You mentioned losing weight, your blood pressure going down since you quit. I had a similar story happen in my life when my father retired from his job, and he naturally lost somewhere in the neighborhood of like 70 or 80 pounds over the course of his first year of retirement just by reducing the stress from his job. So first of all, I'm going to tell you, enjoy your retirement. Have fun, spend time with your grandkids if you have them, spend time with your family, do things that you love, and of course, take care of your body. Since you have so many injuries, you have so many tweaks and pains, I think the number one thing you should do is you should try to find a program for yourself that increases mobility and stability, okay? So that's the first component. I wouldn't follow some crazy like, P90X routine or CrossFit style program where you're doing tons of different stuff. I would definitely steer away from that, and I would follow things more like I have a program called Body Weight Flow. You can see that at bodyweightflow.com. That is a mobility-based program that teaches you mobility and stability in short 2-minute cycles. And, I think that that's more appropriate for someone like yourself who has so many injuries. Another thing I would honestly do is try to seek out a good place to train, because if you have a lot of injuries, a really qualified trainer can help you in a lot of ways. I've had a lot of clients of my own who have tons of injuries, and over the course of 3 to 6 months, we're able to remedy them by directing the stretching to certain parts of their body, by directing the stability to certain parts of their body. And so some great places to look at Pilates studios. It may not be the most manly thing in the world for a guy who did auto parts his whole life, but Pilates studios with a good instructor can really help you rehab a lot of things, really help you strengthen yourself for the long run. A great yoga studio, but I have to preface that it has to be a really intelligent teacher, one who understands biomechanics. Don't just go to any old yoga studio and start following along, but at least they'll help you increase your flexibility. Good ones will help you put your body in proper alignment and increase your stability as well. And then the other option is to go to a really qualified physical therapist, see if your insurance will cover it, and have them work on the basic things like stabilizing your knee joint, stabilizing your hip joint, stabilizing your shoulders, learning how to pack them, working on your posture, so on and so forth. And the final option, Don, cruise through my YouTube channel, type in knee pain, you're gonna see a bunch of videos, type in shoulders, you're gonna see a bunch of videos, type in back, you'll see a bunch of videos, and that should totally help you out as well. All right, you guys, that does it for Q&A Friday. We just talked about a bunch of different stuff. Hopefully that helped you. If you're interested in any of those things, make sure you watch my other videos. I got tons of Q&As as well. If you have any questions whatsoever, check out above, click the link that says Ask Tyler a Question, fill out that form, and you'll go right on my list, and eventually I'll get to you and I'll make a video like this to help you look, feel, and perform your best. I'll see you in the next video.